Good morning, Off the Bench Sports family. Thank you guys for joining me. I have a couple of guests in here. A couple of them have asked not to be acknowledged, so I will refrain from doing so no matter how tough it is. Wow, amazing. I wanted to make sure I started on time. That was very important to me. Let's see, where are we? I've been thinking about stuff all night, didn't really sleep all night. Super important day for myself, and Off the Bench Sports means a lot to me. So we're going to take a moment of silence for all of the student athletes around the world. We've had a couple this year that have lost their lives in a battle of sports on the competition field. So the first thing I want to do is remember them by taking a moment of silence, not just in the state of Louisiana, across the country. We've had athletes that have lost their lives. So at this time, we'll do so by taking a moment of silence. Amen. This is the 1 year anniversary of Off the Bench Sports. This year I decided to do a press conference for the sole fact that I'm a small independent media outlet, and I don't want to go too fast and trying to do too much. So the first thing I want to announce is that the date will be set at a future date, but this before this school year is over, we will have the second awards day for student athletes. I want to make sure that these athletes get acknowledged before they graduate from high school if they're a senior. It's kind of unfair to them to not be acknowledged before they graduate high school for the works that they did in high school. This year we will have I think one person that has graduated already being acknowledged and rewarded for their works during last year's season. This year I will only be awarding basketball, since that was the sport that I primarily covered. I was unable, because of conflict of the same time, because it was only, in the beginning, it was only primarily me covering sports. And so I'm working on building a better network of journalists and videographers to join the Off the Bench Sports family, so that we can cover high school athletics and give exposure to kids all across the state of Louisiana. And we will be looking to expand to all the southern states in the very near future. So that's the first part, is that before the school year is out, we will be having another awards presentation. A date will be further set at a later date, so that we can hopefully get the kids from around the state to be there. It will be a black tie event. We will have food, all the accolades that come with an award show presentation. Next up, I got a certificate made in my haste of trying to be on time. I left the certificates of awards that I had made for people. I kind of know everybody that got one, so the first people that I want to start off by acknowledging are people that sponsored or donated to Off the Bench Sports and their entities. The first person is James Moore. He is with Expert Maintenance Company. James has supported me in several ventures that I've had. My summer travel team, Ascension Tar Heels basketball, James was a great big supporter. He's done a lot for me. I appreciate you, James. Thank you very much. The next person is Sherman Jackson, Jackson and Sons Construction. He's another person that has helped and supported my ventures without fail and without question. The next person I want to acknowledge is Willie Robinson Sr. I think that's right, Willie Robinson Sr. With Ascension Realty LLC. He is another guy that has supported me wholeheartedly. Again, I'm appreciative and grateful of all these people. The next lady is Dina Smith. The Off the Bench Sports commercial that we have is courtesy of Dina Smith. She took time out of her busy schedule because she believes in the Off the Bench Sports product, and she did that for me. So thank you, Dina. Your works and your support of Off the Bench Sports are not unseen. Next, I want to acknowledge some of the employees of Off the Bench Sports. If you're an employee of Off the Bench Sports and I don't acknowledge you, it's not because I don't appreciate your work. The people that I'm acknowledging, they went above and beyond what I expected of them. And so that means a lot to me. I acknowledged one person on Facebook the other night. I was in, having a moment, and I couldn't stop tripping. I was just having a moment. So Bernadette Darby, a lot of the stuff that you guys saw last year, a lot of people asked me, man, how are you in multiple places at one time? I wasn't in multiple places. Bernadette Darby, she went a lot of places for me. And she handled herself in a fashion that was above reproach. She did an outstanding job helping me and helping you guys give exposure to your kids. The next person is Chadwick Wilson. Chadwick is also a videographer for Off the Bench Sports. Again, Chadwick with some of the long distance places that I couldn't make it to, but we needed someone at because I was at another site. Nakosha Taylor, man, Nakosha did a lot of great things for Off the Bench Sports. She as well, she probably went some further places than Chadwick did. So Nakosha, look forward to seeing you at the end of the month. Can't do it without you. Next person is Marvin Glover. Marvin does a lot of administrative stuff for Off the Bench Sports. That a lot of stuff, I'm not one of those guys who is afraid to say something or admit something. It's some stuff that I just don't know how to do that you need done in the professional world of company if you want your company to be legitimate and all that stuff. And so some of that stuff Marvin did for me, and he did it in a timely manner. Thank you, Marvin. What else we next? Partnerships, I think. Partnerships. So here lately, you guys have I've been posting a lot about nonviolence and talking a lot about nonviolence because here in the state of Louisiana, we have a lot of violence, a lot of killing, a lot of deaths. So I partnered with Dream Big Elite LLC. It Exposure Basketball Travel Club for high school girls only. I think in the near future, DeLacy Joseph, who is the owner of Dream Big, she is looking to build on to the younger group, but right now she is just with the older kids, high school age kids. So, yeah, Dream Big Elite does a nonviolent shootout every year, and she's been doing it for the last 5 years, and her motto is dream big, be elite. We shoot jumpers, not each other. That's the shirt that you have seen me advertising on Off the Bench Sports. DeLacy and I partnered up because I believe in the message that she spreads, that if you're gonna shoot something, it might as well be a jumper. Nothing is like jumpers. Basketball did a lot for me, even though I played football. Like when I was growing up as a kid in the projects, basketball was my outlet. Basketball was my release. Basketball is what my heart is. I'm a basketball guy. I love basketball with every fiber of my being, and I will do basketball, something related with it, until I die. So thank you, DeLacy Joseph and Dream Big 100, Dream Big Elite. Please, you guys, she has a Facebook page, Dream Big 100. Please go and follow it. Support her movement in her efforts to try to help girls athletics. So these next few people I want to acknowledge. I don't know if Off the Bench Sports would be alive without them. The first game I did was at this guy's gym. I didn't know him, and I knew someone who worked there that I played football with in high school, and he introduced me to this guy. His name is Coach Terry Martin. Terry Martin is the head coach for the Richwood High School Rams boys basketball team. I went in and I think I wrote an article on the game that they played that night, and after the game, Coach Martin and I, we probably talked for an hour. He told me, he said, man, I'm gonna give you this guy number and just call him and tell him Terry Martin said for you to call him, and you don't have to do nothing else once you tell him that Terry Martin said call him. And that guy's name was Dexter Washington. Dexter Washington is the head coach of the Hamilton Christian Academy Warriors. And so after that happened, after I called Dexter, we talked for a couple of times, and a couple of days later, I was in Lake Charles. Live streaming my first game on this very date, November 19, 2017, the showdown at the lake. I don't know if I had ever been around that much talent at one event. Coach Washington swears by, if you win the showdown at the lake, your team is going to go on and win the state championship in their classification. So thank you, Coach Martin. Thank you, Coach Washington. And so that is two guys that I want to thank. Also, this summer, I had my first annual skills camp in Shreveport, Louisiana at Southwood High School. Coach Eddie Hamilton of Southwood High School, not only did he offer me his site for use, he said, whatever you need, don't worry, I got you, because I believe in what you're doing with Off the Bench Sports. And so with that, Coach Hamilton did exactly what he said. He got me in the gym. He made himself readily available for me when I got there to help me and assist me in whatever I needed doing. And also, Coach Casey Jones at Wiseman High School, Coach Jones brought a gang of players to my camp. Coach Jones has also been a very big supporter in silent. I don't know if he wanted to be mentioned. Sorry about that, Coach Jones. But I just, I had to acknowledge you for all that you did to help me in my first camp. And I hope that we maintain that relationship, and I hope that the invitation is still open for the next camp to be at Wiseman High School in Monroe, Louisiana. We will be discussing that soon. So, why we're here is because I think if you work hard, there should be a reward at the end of the rainbow. I watched a documentary a little bit ago, maybe a month and a half ago, and it was about a kid named Ryan Francis. I never got the chance to see Ryan play because I didn't really get into sports the first year when I got here. I was trying to set roots, so I didn't get involved with sports till like a year and a half later. So I never did get to see Ryan play. But I watched that documentary, and it touched my heart. And so I figured out a way to try to honor Ryan. And I called someone, and I'm not going to mention their name because they don't want to be mentioned. But he put me in contact with Ryan's mother, Miss Paulette Francis. Miss Paulette, I said I want to do this. Just come on, Miss Paulette. I'm sorry, guys. I'm having another moment. I can't help myself. Again, we never understand or accept tragedy until it hits our doorstep. Thank you for taking off and coming. It means a lot to me. I'm going to let you say whatever you want. I'm going to try to go and get myself composed, and we're going to come back, and I'm going to let you introduce the Boy and Girl Player of the Year Awards.
I wrote down something so I won't forget what I wanted to say. Thank you for allowing me to present this award in honor of my son, Ryan Francis. I'm very thankful we have the opportunity to share his legacy and to use it to teach and inspire young people like you. Ryan was very passionate. He cared about everything he set out to do and worked very hard to make the best of every situation that was presented to him. I hope in receiving this award, you will use the example he has left behind as a reminder to keep working hard, to keep fighting, to keep pushing, and never give up. And again, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. So I'm going to, this is for you, okay? That's for you. Can, just give us 1 second. Here. So, Ms. Paulette will announce to you guys the boys and then the girls winner. And then I'll come back and I think I'll expand on why these two people won these awards.
The player of the year is Jared Butler. And the other player of the year is Destiny Rice.
There you have it. The boys' player of the year is Jared Butler from Riverside Academy, and the girls' player of the year is Destiny Rice. It was a really hard choice on the boys when you get to watch Javonte Smart, when you get to watch Jared Butler, when you get to watch Jalen Brooks of Woodlawn Shreve, when you get to watch those guys 6 or 7 times during the course of a year, and I said he'd be doing J things, like Javonte was phenomenal to watch. Jalen Brooks was, somebody said that the championship game versus Karen Crow, Woodlawn wouldn't have even been close if it wasn't for the things that Jared did during the 2nd through 4th quarter, see? You know, so I had to really look at that, but it was all the other things that Jalen Brooks did throughout the course of the year that helped his team, that made him a contender. Javonte, man, I don't think I've ever seen a guy with my own eyes that does the things that Javonte does on the court, especially once he gets in a place of comfortability. It's nobody that's gonna stop him. Whether you're 6'9" or 6 feet, you're not stopping him. If he wants to get to the rim, he's there. If he's gonna dunk it, you're not gonna stop him. So, but the one thing that stood out for me with Jared was, Jared didn't beat Javonte once in one season. He beat him twice in the same season. And when you beat who I think is the best player in the state twice, that says something to me about who you are as a basketball player. So that's why Jared is being awarded the Off the Bench Sports Player of the Year award. The next person in Destiny Rice, I don't think I didn't get to see Simone play very much in high school. Mr. Seymour, you guys, next year, Simone Augustus Player of the Year award. Hey, we gotta make that a reality. But Destiny, man, she did everything but mop the court before the game. I think the Bird Coliseum, Alexandria. Alexandria is. But the people in Alexandria, they had someone to mop the floor. Other than that, I think Destiny could have managed how to do that and warm up at the same time. She was phenomenal. In their contest, you only need to see a player like Destiny once to know that she's the best at what she's doing. I think there are a few young ladies this year that are going to really challenge that across the state. I'm not going to call any names of who I'm looking at right now, but trust me, I got a few young ladies that are high up on the OTBS Player of the Year watch list already that I've seen, and I was really impressed by it. So congratulations to Jared and Destiny. Coach Bird and Coach Shine, I will be contacting you guys today on how we can get their awards to them. Next we have, I'm gonna do the Boys Coach of the Year Award first. That is, some of you may be like, wow, how did he get it? But I know how he got it. The Boys Off the Bench Sports Coach of the Year Award goes to Christopher Kovacs of Karen Crow Golden Bears. Coach Kovacs has been coaching a lot of years, and he never changed his philosophy. And so when you're not afraid to be different in adversity, then again, I think you should be recognized for that. So Coach Christopher Kovacs with Karen Crow High School is the Boys Coach of the Year Award winner. For the Girls Coach of the Year Award winner, that goes to East Ascension High School Girls Coach Dennis Chandler. I think that Coach Chandler is a steadfast man, honorable, another coach that no matter what happened, he didn't change who he was as a coach. And so those are your Coaches of the Year Award winners. And I want to really, these people that I'm about to thank now, they're not last, but it's just, I guess, it's just how it goes. I want to thank my family. They are here, not because I guess they don't want to be here. I really didn't tell anybody. I just told the people that I thought, that were going to be essential in this. I really wanted Ms. Paulette to be here. The other person I wanted to be here, thanks man, is here. And so I was cool with that. I'm sorry for having a moment, you guys. I'm a wuss, I guess. I believe in the things that I believe in. I'm just a really passionate guy. I'm passionate about helping your kids. Thank you all for allowing me to help your kids. It means the world to me that I get to interact with really great student athletes. I get to interact with really great parents. Some of y'all hell on wheels though, but I love y'all anyway. And I could not do it without the administrators at the school, the principals, the athletic directors, the coaches of each sport in particular. Thank you guys very much. Off the Bench Sports really appreciates all that you guys allow me to do. I cannot do it without you. I cannot do it without your support. So if you're not already following, follow Off the Bench Sports on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Website is www.getintothegame.net. I think I've taken up enough of your time. Yeah, I've taken up enough of your time. And then I don't want to cry anymore. So I'm going to let Ms. Paulette, if you have anything else to say. Thank you guys again. Remember, get off the bench, get into the game.